Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, March 25th. A cold front is sliding slowly through the I-95 corridor region this morning. Low pressure is moving along that frontal boundary zone. It looks like some rain shower activity is quite likely in D.C. and Philadelphia during the mid or late afternoon hours into the evening hours. Could be a sprinkle or two up around New York City, but most of the precipitation will stay south of the New York City metro region. Those showers will continue into the mid to latter part of the evening as the colder air continues to press in. Not out of the question that some snowflakes mix in, especially north of the Mason-Dixon line during the evening hours before it all ends. Turns colder and clearer in the overnight hours, and a real cold air mass for this time of the year for the next couple of days will certainly be confined to the 40s on Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon for high temperatures in the I-95 corridor, down in the 20s for the next few nights. Then it turns milder beginning around Thursday in the mid-Atlantic region. Looks like a very nice weather for the home opener on Thursday afternoon for the Nats in Washington, for the Phillies in Philadelphia, and for the Yankees in New York City. Plenty of sunshine, high temperatures, probably near 60 for the Nationals home opener, well up in the 50s in New York City and Philadelphia. It stays quite nice on Friday and Saturday, maybe even warmer, 70 degrees on the table for Saturday in some spots, and then a cold front could bring some showers our way for Sunday. Colder air will follow, and there's a chance that a storm tries to attack into that cold air mass during the early part of next week. So let's take a look at the latest surface map, and here's that cold frontal system. It is basically sliding slowly to the south and east, and temperatures have probably reached their peak for the day in many parts of the D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor as northerly winds will start to develop during the afternoon hours. Temperatures holding pretty steady at mild levels, maybe in the lower 50s in Philadelphia, maybe mid to upper 50s in D.C. over the next several hours. And here's that low pressure area. Relatively weak system. It'll ride right along that frontal boundary zone in this fashion, and we'll see the radar in a moment. That should result in some shower activity during the mid or late afternoon hours in parts of the I-95 corridor, again, primarily south of New York City. And then colder air, anchored here by that high pressure system in southern Canada, moves in for late tonight, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Well, here's the latest radar loop. Not much going on in the I-95 corridor region right now. Rather cloudy this morning. Again, relatively mild to start off today. Here's some showers out here across the Ohio Valley. Now moving into the western part of West Virginia. Again, excuse me, it looks like the showers may reach the D.C. Philadelphia corridor during the mid or late afternoon hours. Generally just cloudy and rain-free during the latter part of the morning and midday hours. But again, showers late today into the evening. Not out of the question to see some flakes mixing in during the evening hours, especially north of the Mason-Dixon line as that low pressure area moves along the cold frontal boundary zone. Meantime, colder air slowly filters in from the north and west. We'll see the low-level winds turn to a north or northwest direction during the afternoon, and that'll push in some colder air for the overnight hours. And by morning, we may be down in the 20s in many parts of the I-95 corridor. Again, quite a chilly air mass for this time of the year will have its hold on the Mid-Atlantic region right through the middle part of the work week. Well, let's walk through last night's 6Z GFS model run. Here's that low pressure area over the Ohio Valley. Again, a cold frontal positioning itself this morning right across the southern part of Pennsylvania. This low pressure area will ride right along that frontal boundary zone. Cold air mass anchored by strong cold high pressure across southern Canada. Several days ago, it looked like this low might be stronger. It could result in some snow for the I-95 corridor, but it's a weak system, and it looks like it kind of tends to slide to the south and east. So not much threat for snow out of this, but again, some rain shower activity late today into the early part of tonight. More rain moving into California. Let's now move forward here into the mid-afternoon and the late afternoon. Notice a little bit of blue here showing up. A little bit of snowflake activity certainly possible across southern Pennsylvania, north of the Mason-Dixon line. And again, the best chance for rain will be late this afternoon in Philadelphia and D.C. into the evening hours. For the most part, just to the south of New York City cannot rule out a little bit of rain up that part of the I-95 corridor. Then by later on tonight, precipitation starts to wind down from northwest to southeast. Again, some snowflakes are possible even down into D.C. before it all ends by about midnight or so. Colder air filters in, some clearing skies, and by morning it'll be a noticeable change in air mass from this morning to tomorrow morning. Low 50s this morning in many spots of the I-95 corridor, mid to upper 20s by tomorrow morning with a stiff breeze out of the north or northwest, and then that high pressure dominates right into the midweek, stays chilly through Wednesday, but then just in time for the home openers in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City for Thursday afternoon. Here we go. Low-level air flow comes out of the southwest by Thursday afternoon, boosting temperatures with some sunshine to 60 degrees in D.C., well up in the 50s for the Phillies and Yankees in Philadelphia and New York City. And then it turns even milder on Friday, perhaps well up in the 60s in many areas. And on Saturday, we're still ahead of the next cold frontal system. Here we are Saturday morning. Looks like stays relatively rain-free on Saturday, maybe partly sunny skies, perhaps 70 degrees in D.C. and well up in the 60s in Philly and New York City. And then that frontal system does approach. This is a cold front. Here we are Sunday morning, the threat for showers in the I-95 corridor on Sunday. And indeed, there is cold air mass, another cold shot coming as we begin the month of April. I believe next Monday is April 1st. And we'll have a cold shot here arriving at the end of the weekend. And here's an area that we'll have to watch down here at the end of the weekend. That could turn into low pressure area that moves up, tries to attack this cold air mass in place here by around next Monday or so. So even though we turn the calendar to April, doesn't necessarily mean we are out of the period that we could have a threat for snow. In fact, this GFS model has possibility here for the early part of next week. We'll obviously monitor that threat over the next several days. But for today, looks like some shower activity late this afternoon and evening could mix with a little bit of snow towards the latter part of the evening hours in the I-95 corridor region, and then a cold shot for Monday night, later on tonight, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Milder weather for the second half of the weekend. It looks pretty nice for the home openers on Thursday afternoon in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.